What's up, y'all? It's your boy, Mr. Get It Done, and here we are, step 3 in your 5 steps to financial freedom. Listen, today we're going to talk about what a lot of people don't like to talk about: debt. Listen, most people don't realize that debt isn't just about owing money. It's really a trap. It's a trap designed to keep you working for the banks instead of building wealth for yourself. And listen, the worst part is this: most people stay in debt their entire lives, not because they don't work hard, but because they don't know how to break free. Think about this real quick. Think about this. If you add up all your debt, you got credit cards, student loans, car loans, personal loans. How much would you really owe? Think about it. List all those things and see how much you really owe. And then imagine this, that you didn't have any of that debt. How much extra money would you have every month? And then more importantly, what would you do with that extra money? Let me know in the comments, and also let me know what's the biggest thing that's holding you back right now. Let me know. I want to hear from you. But in today's video, this is what you're going to expect. This is what you're going to get. We're going to talk about and break down exactly how to get out of debt and stay out of it for good. We're going to talk about the real cost of debt and how it keeps you broke, the fastest way to pay it off, and how to regain control, because that's what we all about. And then we're going to talk about how to stay debt free and manage money smarter. All right, listen, it's your boy, Mr. Get It Done. You are in step 3 of your 5 steps to financial freedom. Let's get into it, y'all. All right, y'all. So look, we really need to know the difference between debt. We got good debt and bad debt, because not all debt is bad, but most people, they really don't know the difference. And if you don't understand the difference, then guess what? Debt is going to keep you stuck. So here we got good debt. That's debt that helps you make money or increase value somewhere. That's like buying a rental property that pays you rental income every month, or investing in a business that's going to generate you some type of income. Or even, guess what? Taking out a student loan for a high return degree. That increases your income potential and your value. You know what I'm saying? You can use business credit to buy assets that make money instead of just buying liabilities. We could think about it that way. But then we got bad debt. That's debt that takes money out of your pocket. You got high interest credit cards that you can't pay off in full, or car loans on a depreciating asset that loses value the second that you drive it off the lot. Then we got personal loans, those payday loans. That stuff keeps you in a debt cycle, you know? So we really need to work on getting out of that. But guess what? That's why you're here. But listen, the key difference is this: good debt makes you money. Bad debt costs you money. If you're in debt, you need to go ask yourself, is this building my future, or is it draining my pockets? Ask yourself that question. And let me know, what's the worst debt that you've ever taken on? Whatever it is. Was it a car loan, student loan for a little degree or whatever? Let me know what you think. But listen, a lot of people think, like, I only borrowed $5,000, I could pay that off easily. But what they don't realize is that debt doesn't stay the same. It grows, y'all. Why does it grow? Because of interest. So let me give you this example here. Let's break it down real quick. So let's say you got a $5,000 credit card with the interest rate of 20%. All right, that sounds doable. I can do that. But here's what happens. If you only make minimum payments on that, then your minimum payment is around $100 to $125 a month. But most of that money is going towards interest, not your actual balance. If you only pay the minimum, guess what? It's going to take you 25 years to pay that off. And by the time you do, you're going to be unpaid over $15,000 for that $5,000. That's triple what you originally borrowed. That's the crazy part. And this is how people stay trapped in the debt. So let me know, have you ever looked at your credit card statement before and realized how much interest that you're actually paying? What's the highest interest rate that you done paid thus far? Let me know in the comments. But listen, here's why people stay in debt also. Here's why people stay in debt. Because most people don't stay in debt because they want to. It's because they don't know how to escape it. So I'm going to give you 3 reasons why people stay stuck in debt. 3 reasons. Number 1, only making minimum payments. If you're just paying the minimum, guess what? You're barely covering the interest. The balance stays almost the same. And you stay in debt for, guess what? Years. Number 2, we using credit for everyday expenses. Listen, if you rely on credit cards for groceries, gas, and bills, man, you digging a hole every single month. You borrow money for things that won't make you any money back. That's the problem. Number 3, we taking on new debt while trying to pay off old debt. It don't work like that. People get a new credit card to pay off an old credit card. They refinance their car loans just to lower the payment, but they stretch out the loan. Stretch it out way longer and pay more interest in the long run. It's these things these financial things, instead of learning how to use cash and invest, we fall into these cycles and these traps. We got to break the cycle, y'all. And the only way that we get out of debt is to stop using new debt and aggressively pay off what we already owe. We got to start hitting everything head on. All right? What's one thing that you currently paying off or paying for on your credit that you really could have cut back on? Think about it. Go analyze your bill and see what you could have, maybe I shouldn't have done that. And listen, here's why paying off debt is the fastest way to build wealth. Imagine what your life looked like if you had 0 debt. 0 debt. So let's do the math real quick. If you have a $500 car payment, a $250 credit card bill, a $600 student loan, that's about $1,350 a month that you're paying. Over 1 year, that's $16,200 going straight to the banks and lenders and credit card companies. Over 5 years, that's $81,000 in payments. Yeah, think about it. Now imagine if you could put that money, if you could keep that money instead of giving it away. That's $16,000 that you could put into investing. That's $16,000 that money you can use to start a business. That's your financial freedom, where your money is working for you instead of working for debt. All right? Listen, you don't have to be rich to build wealth, okay? You just have to stop making the banks richer with your money. That's what we doing, y'all. Let's head over here. Had to get my juice, y'all. Health is wealth too. Listen, if you ain't got health, you ain't got nothing. But let's get back to it. The reality of paying off debt. Listen, most people, they want to get out of debt, but they don't have a plan. They just throw money at their bills and hope for the best. And then they wonder why they still struggling years later. Listen, the truth is this. If you don't have a strategy, your debt is going to continue to own you. But see, you got to understand how to attack it and attack it in the right way. Once you do that, you can get rid of it quicker than ever. And that's what Mr. Get It Done is about to give you. I'm about to give you 5 steps. 5 steps to get rid of your debt. But the first thing I want you to do, I want you to, listen, let me know. What's the first debt that you want to eliminate, that you want to get rid of? Put it in writing. Go write it down. All right? So here we at step 1. That's basically it. List everything that you owe. All the debt that you're facing, write it down. The first step to getting out of debt is actually knowing how much you owe and what you owe. It sounds simple, but you'll be surprised how many people don't actually know their full debt picture. So yes. Go do this right now. Go grab a notebook, a spreadsheet, your phone app, whatever it is. Go write it down. Every single debt that you got, the total balance, the interest rate, the minimum monthly payment, write it down. And I'm going to tell you why this works, because once you see everything laid out in front of you, it becomes real. You stop ignoring it. And guess what? And that's when you can start making a real plan to get rid of it, because you're seeing it. You see the plan. That's what the Bible tells us. Write it down, make it plain. That's what we got to do with our debt. So have you ever totaled up everything before? Let me know. Have you ever written down all your debt and let me know how it made you feel? And then we go ahead to step 2. I want you to pick up a payoff strategy. We got the Debt Snowball, and then we got the Debt Avalanche, and we're about to go over those. So now that you know what you owe, let's pick this strategy. So first, the debt snowball effect. That's what I like to call it. And it's best if you need like those quick wins. Some people need those quick wins to stay encouraged. So you pay off, and what it is you pay off the smallest debt first while making minimal payments on everything else. And once the first debt is gone, you roll that payment into the next one, and the next one. You just keep going until you basically debt free. So let's say you pay off a $500 medical bill first. Now instead of just paying the minimum $50 on your credit card, you throw in that extra $50 that you done freed up, or $500. Your payments get bigger and your debt start to disappear. That's all that is, y'all. But then we got the debt avalanche, and this is best if you want to save money on interest. So what you do is you focus on paying off the highest interest debt first while making minimum payments on the rest. So once the high interest rate or debt is gone, you move to the next one. And then you pay less overall, but it may take a little longer to feel like you're making real progress. So you be like, what strategy is best? It's really what works for you. Both methods is going to work. The key is sticking to it. Stick to it. Whatever going to keep you motivated, that's what I want you to do. If you want to pay less interest over time, use the debt. Use the debt avalanche. If you want to knock things off quicker, use the snowball. All right, step 3. Stop creating new debt. We got to break the cycle. Listen, if you're trying to pay off debt while still swiping credit cards, taking out loans, or financing stuff that you can't afford, you're running in place. You'll never get ahead like that. That's what we got to stop doing. So here's what I want you to do. Step 3, y'all. Go freeze your credit cards. Call them up. Tell them, hey, I don't need to use this for a minute. Put a hold on it. And if you want to buy something, guess what? You're going to have to wait till the ice melt on the card. We're about to freeze it. That forces you to rethink every impulse spending that you have. Remove the saved credit card information. Take your cards off Amazon, DoorDash, Uber Eats, anywhere. Take it off. Anywhere you tend to spend money at or overspend, take it off. All right? We're going to manually put that thing in there. Use cash. Withdraw cash for your weekly expenses. And guess what? Once it's gone, you're done spending. That's it. You got to start giving yourself an allowance. All right? So that's step 3, y'all. So step 4, I want you to find some extra money to pay off your debt faster. You be like, where am I going to find this extra money at? One of the biggest mistakes people make when paying off debt is thinking they only have their regular paycheck to work with. But if you can find extra money, you can attack debt way faster. And guess what? We all got it sitting around somewhere. All right? 4 ways to free up cash and pay off debt fast. Listen to this. 1, cut unnecessary expenses. This is where you find this extra money at. Cancel those subscriptions that you don't use. Cut back on eating out and impulse shopping. You don't need to go get that Gucci hat, that Gucci belt. Get rid of all that luxury spending, all that brand name stuff. We got to put that on hold for a second. Number 2, sell those things that you don't need. You got clothes that you ain't wore in 6 months, that you ain't gonna wear. You got electronics. You still got that DVD player, old furniture and shoes and stuff that you don't use. Sell that stuff. Hop on Facebook Market. Offer it up. Give it up. Turn that junk into cash. Number 3, pick you a side hustle. You could drive Uber or Lyft. You could do tutoring. Pick you up a weekend gig. Stack extra money. Take that extra money and throw it straight to your debt. Listen, you got ways to make money. Use it. Number 4, negotiate lower interest rate. A lot of people don't do this, but you can call up the credit card company and ask for a lower interest rate. And if you got a history, I've been making my payments on time, just ain't been making enough, they might work with you. And sometimes they'll give you a promotional period of like 0% APR where you can start hitting a little harder. Yeah, call them up. Don't hesitate. Number 5, automate and stay consistent. The biggest key to paying off debt is making it a non-negotiable priority. That means setting up a plan and letting it run on autopilot. And you be like, how to automate your payoff plan? Listen, this is easy. Set up automatic payments for more than the minimum. If you get extra income, tax refunds, work bonus, put at least 50% towards the debt. Track your progress. It's going to keep you motivated. But this is what you got to do, y'all. Listen. This is the mindset shift that you need to have. Listen, you're not losing money by paying off debt. You're buying back your freedom. Every dollar you throw at debt, one step closer to never being controlled by the banks again. That's what we want. Never be controlled by the banks. All right, y'all. So why cutting expenses alone won't save you? Listen, a lot of financial advice tells you to cut back on spending. Even I done said it a little bit. And don't get me wrong, that's a good place to start. But if you're spending money on things that you don't need, of course, you should trim those expenses up. But here's the truth. You can only cut so much before you hit a wall. Right. So let's say you go all in, you cancel Netflix, stop eating out, and drop that $80 a month gym membership. Maybe you even switch to a cheaper phone plan. Cool. You done saved a few $100s. That's great. But guess what? You still got rent. You still got groceries. You still got bills. At some point, you run out of things to cut. But your financial problems don't magically disappear. And this is where most people get stuck. Because they cut everything that they can, but they still feel like they drowning. Why? Because cutting expenses alone, it ain't gonna make you rich. It just helps you survive. And that's good, but we want to do more than just survive. We want to live. And listen, the real key is increasing your income. This is what most people don't really talk about. You don't just need to cut back. You need to make more money too. And once you shift your focus from just saving pennies to actually making more dollars, then your entire financial situation is going to change. Think about this. If you cut your spending by $200 a month, that's great. It helps. But if you find a way to make an extra $1,000 a month, man, that's life-changing. Let's say your total monthly income is $4,000 and your bills and expenses take up $3,800. That means every month you left with $200 at the end of the month. That ain't much breathing room. But guess what? Now you cut back and save an extra $300 by eating at home, canceling those subscriptions, shopping smarter. Yeah, it's helpful, right? Now guess what? Now you got $500 left after all your bills. But what if instead of just focusing on cutting, you found a way to add an extra $1,500 a month to your income? Now, instead of stressing over small expenses, you got an extra $2,000 you can play with at the end of the month. That's money to pay off debt. That's investment money. That's wealth building money. That's what we aiming to. And this is why focusing on increasing your income is way more powerful than just cutting back. And so remember, y'all, this whole series is about shifting our mindset. We got to start thinking outside the box that society don't put us in. And so here, listen, there's something that's called the 80-20 rule I'm going to talk about. And it applies to almost everything: relationships, business, even money. And the concept is simple. It's this: 80% of your financial success comes from 20% of the actions that you take. So 80% of your problems come from just 20% of your habits. 80% of your wealth is controlled by 20% of people because they focus on the right things. Listen, what does that mean for you? All right. Most people spend too much time focusing on small things like clipping coupons. I do that too. I still clip coupons. Skipping Starbucks or buying store brand groceries. But the people who build real wealth, they focus on big moves like increasing their income, investing, and building assets that pay them forever. So instead of spending 80% of your energy trying to save $5 here and there, put 80% of your efforts into making more money. That's what I'm challenging you to do. I'm challenging you to challenge yourself because it's out here to be made. And let me know, what would you rather save? $200 a month or make an extra $2,000 a month? Let me know. Put it in the comments. And now we got to start shifting our income. We got to start playing offense, not just defense with our income. Most people play defense with their money. They try to cut back. They budget aggressively. They limit themselves. And again, that's cool. It's cool for survival. But if you want to win financially and actually live life, you got to play offense, baby. You have to learn how to make your money work for you. And I'm big on this. Life is better spent living it. But here's how you do that. Here's how you're going to make that shift. Listen, playing defense, that means you're always worried about cutting back, stressing over small expenses, never feeling like you have enough. But playing offense is this. We finding ways to increase our income, create more cash flow, and invest in things that's making you money. So listen, if you focus only on cutting back, best case scenario is that you become really good at being broke. I'm just being honest. But if you focus on making more, you can actually build a life where you don't have to stress over every little purchase, every little thing that you spending money on. But the moral of the story is this. I want you to leave with this. Yes, be smart about your spending. But more importantly, learn how to increase your income so you never have to struggle again. That's what it's about, y'all. So go take a second. Go write all that down. Make sure you got your notebooks out doing this. I'm about to give you the final step right here, y'all. All right, y'all, so let's bring it all together. We done broken down how to understand debt, the fastest way to pay it off, and the mindset shift that needs to happen so we can stay debt free. But here's the thing, none of that's going to matter if you don't take no action. Knowing what to do is only one thing, but actually doing it is what separates the financially free from the financially stuck. What side you want to be on? So let's run it back real quick. Listen, step 1. Stop ignoring your debt. Listen, write it down. List everything that you owe. Put it on that piece of paper. Get your app out, whatever you want to use. Step 2, pick a strategy. Listen, we got the Debt Snowball for quick wins. We got the Debt Avalanche to save on the interest. Pick one, stick with it, commit to it. Step number 3, stop creating new debt. No more financing your lifestyle. All right, live where your means at. And number 4, increase your income because making more money is the fastest way to freedom. Step 5, automate your debt payoff. Listen, set it up and forget it. It's going to help you stay on track. All right? But now here's the challenge. This is what I want you to do right now. I want you to write down the first step that you're about to take. The first step that you're going to make. Maybe it's listing out all your debts. Maybe it's cutting back on credit card use. Maybe it's picking up a side hustle. Whatever it is, I want you to write it down. I want you to commit to it because that's what's going to get things cracking. All right? So now that we done handled all the debt, it's time to level up because financial freedom isn't just about getting out of debt. It's about building wealth. And the best way to do that, investing for passive income. So in the next video, guess what? I'm going to be breaking down how to make your money work for you instead of you working for your money. I'm going to be letting you know the best investments that you can make for beginners, even if you're just starting out with $50. Point is going to be just a start. So I'm also going to let you know how to set up income streams that keep paying you long after you stop working. All right? So make sure you tune in. Let me know for this video, what's your number one takeaway from this video? What hit home for you? What did you relate to the most? Drop it in the comments, and guess what? Yes, I read every single comment. And also, if you're serious about this financial freedom journey, listen, you don't want to miss the next video. So I want you to hit that subscribe button, turn on the notifications, and let's run it up, y'all. It's your boy, Mr. Get It Done, and I'm out.